Okay, so today we are looking at multiplying polynomials, in particular binomials, and this is day 2. Here's the warm-up. Let me blow this up. You guys are going to answer the 4 questions. Remember that when you multiply, you always add your exponents. So you got question 1, 3, 5, and 7. Let's take a look at the learning target and success criteria. We're learning how to multiply polynomials. We are reviewing the product rule of exponents. So the success criteria is I can multiply 2 binomials, I can add exponents when multiplying polynomials, and I can write polynomials in standard form. Okay, please don't forget the product rule. Anytime you multiply 2 variables that are exactly the same, you're going to add the exponent. Here's an example right here. We have x to the 5th times x to the 8th. You'll do x and then to the 5th plus the 8th, which will give you x to the 13th power. And here's another example. We have x to the 15th times x to the 10th. You'll add these two together, 15 plus 10, which will give you 25. Okay, so you guys will receive a note page today. And this is the first example on the notes. We should be able to go ahead and complete this, but I'll go ahead and do it. You can either use distributive property or you can use distributive property or you can use the box methods, whichever one you prefer. Remember that distributive property just saying you multiply this -2 to each piece. So I'll do -2 times 1. That give me a -2. Remember that I'm adding my exponents, which is right here. So we got x to the first plus x to the second, which will give me x to the third. -2 times a -4 should give me a +4. It'll give me a positive 8x. And then -2 plus 2, which will give me a -4x. And this will be to the second power. Again, when you use the box method, you should get the same answer. It's just -2x, x squared, minus 4x plus 2. All right, remember that it's a 1 in front when there's nothing there. So -2 times a +1 is -2. Remember that you add your exponent, this is x to the third. Negative times a negative give you a positive. This is going to give me 8x squared. And then this will give me -4x. So you get the same answer. Pause the video at this time to copy this down in your notes. All right, so we got another example now. Today, guys, we're looking at binomial times binomial. All right, so we got 2 binomials. Remember, binomials are 2 pieces. So we have x plus 3, and then we have x minus 3. Remember to add your exponents, which I put up here in the top right corner. So x, 1 times 1 is going to give you 1. And then x to the first plus x to the first will give you x squared. Then we have x times a -3. This is -3x. Then we have a +3 times x will be plus 3x. And then finally, we have a +3 times a -3, which will give me a -9. Now, the only other thing with multiplying 2 binomials, guys, is to remember to combine your like terms. And then you'll be finished. So my final answer is going to give me x squared. If you want to put a 1 in front, you can. Then I have a +3 minus 3. These two actually will cancel itself out. And then I'm left with just -9. Okay. So that's using a box method. You do not have to do foiling or distributive property if you do not want to. Pause the video at this time, guys, to go ahead and write this down in your notes. Next example, you guys had 3x minus 1. You have 2x minus 4. Remember that the exponents is understood 1 if it's nothing there. So we're going to multiply 3 times 2, which will give me 6. Then x to the first plus x to the first, give me x squared, which is right here in the top right. Then I have -2x. -1 times a +2 is a -2. +3 times a -4 is going to give me a -12x. Then finally, I have a negative times a negative, give me a positive. So 1 times 4 is going to be +4. Remember, the only other thing is to combine your like terms. With two binomials, it's always going to be in the middle. So my final answer here is going to be 6x squared negative 2x minus 12 is going to give me a negative 14x, and then I get plus 4. Pause the video. It's time to copy this one down. All right, you guys have an application problem where they ask you to find area. Remember that area is length times width, okay? So really you're not doing anything different here. You're just multiplying, but you gotta know the area is length times width. So this is the same thing as saying 7x plus 10 times 4x plus 8. So go ahead and build my box. 7x, here's my plus 10, and here's 4x plus 8. All right, so now I'm multiplying. Remember that your exponent is understood 1 here if there's nothing there. 7 times 4 is going to give me 28. X times x is going to be x to the second power. Remember that add your exponents. 7 times 8 is going to give me 56, so this would be plus 56x. And then 10 times 4 is going to give me plus 40x. And then finally 10 times 8 will be plus 80x. Plus 80. Remember to always combine your like terms. When you do two binomials, it's going to be the numbers in the middle, or normally will be the numbers in the middle. So after I combine my like terms, my final answer is going to give me, and I need to move this over. My final answer will be 28x squared. Then I need to add 40 plus 56, which will give me 96x, and then plus 80. Pause the video at this time to copy down this example. Okay, so this one, guys, is another application problem. They're asking you guys to find a volume. Volume is length times width times height. So on this one, I already started the problem for you. You're going to do x times x plus 3 times x plus 6. So I did the x times x plus 3. And now I want you guys to go ahead and solve this part right here. So this is what you left with. Go ahead and solve this part. So go ahead and pause the video at this time, guys, and complete this last part of the problem. Okay, so again, you guys are going to do question 9. And then you're also going to do question 10 and 12. I'm going to go ahead and do 11 and 13. So 11, we have a binomial times a trinomial, so you needed a 2 by 3 box. I went ahead and set it up. Now we're just going to fill it in. I didn't write the exponents in, so I'm going to put it over here on the side. So we got x to the first plus 4. This is x to the fifth. And then we have x to the first plus 1. This would be x to the second. Okay, it's understood 1 there. All right, so we're going to go ahead and multiply. Remember that the coefficient is going to be 1. So 2 times 1 is going to be 2. X to the first plus x to the fourth is going to give me x to the fifth. 1 times 1 is 1. And you have x to the fourth here. 2 times the negative 6 is going to give me a negative 12x. And then to the first plus to the first, this will be to the second. 1 times the negative 6 is going to give me a negative 6x. We have 2 times 3, which will give me plus 6x. And then finally, we got 1 times 3 will be plus 3. So from here, again, we need to combine our like terms. So we have x is here. And that's pretty much it. So our final answer, we get in standard form 2x to the fifth plus x to the fourth. Okay, negative 6x plus 6 is going to actually cancel out. And then we left with just plus 3. I'm missing a piece. I apologize. So let's go back. We got to the fifth power, to the fourth power. Oh, and then we have minus 12x squared, fifth, fourth, second. These two cancel, and then we have plus 3. So that's the final answer for this one. Okay. And then finally, number 12, guys, 13, I went ahead pause the video at this time to copy this one down. Number 13, I went ahead and filled in. This is the trinomial times the trinomial. We will not get to that this week, but we will get to it eventually. I show each of the exponents we added together. So we have x to the third plus x to the third, x to the third plus x to the second, x to the second plus x to the second. Okay. And then we multiply each piece. So the process is the same. It's just a bigger matrix. And then remember to combine your like terms, which I try to color code to make it easier to see. Make sure you guys copy these in your notes. So go ahead and pause the video at this time to copy down question 12. Your classwork for today will be to complete multiplying polynomials, the box method assignment. And then if you finish that today, you can go ahead and start working on this multiplying polynomials, the alien coloring activity. After that, guys, make sure that you complete the opening and closing sheet, so the closing for today. And then after that, you'll be 100% finished. If you have any additional questions, please feel free to ask me. Have a great day.